What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I'm here with Anthony, and we are discussing episode 5 of House of the Dragon. We are midway through this show, and let me tell you, Anthony messaged me Sunday night. I had taken a nap, so I didn't watch the episode on time. He messaged me, and he was like, this episode. I was like, wait, haven't gotten to it yet. He was like, oh, you gonna want to talk.
No. The first message I sent you was, damn.
Oh, let me tell you. So we've been saying it from the beginning, how Matt Smith as Daemon Targaryen is owning this role.
Matt Smith is brutal.
This motherfucker don't have to say a word.
Give that motherfucker an Emmy, a Golden Globe. Give him all of the, which I'll say, all the flowers.
All the things, all the things.
All of them. You know, and I found this out. Some people were like, when they first started, they're like, Matt Smith, Doctor Who, blah, blah, blah. So number one, if you saw Morbius, you saw that motherfucker with his shirt off.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, this motherfucker was a scholarship rugby player in college.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
He has the physicality to do
a tough motherfucker.
But again, he didn't have to do shit. And let me tell you.
He looks intimidating.
Daemon was big dick energy from start to finish of this episode.
Didn't say a word.
That term was invented for him.
Yes, he was.
Start of the episode. Yes. We finally meet the bronze bitch.
I have a big dick and a dragon. Do I need anything else?
No, you don't. So anyway, like I said, we meet the bronze bitch. We meet his wife because in the last episode, the king banished him and sent him back to the Vale. So his wife, when she first comes on the screen, she comes on, there's an encounter with her cousin. And she's getting ready to go hunting. And he asked her if she wants some company. She was like, no, I prefer to go alone. Even just the way she said that sentence, I was like, okay, she seems a little hard-nosed, but okay, she might not, I don't know. The cousin seemed really nice.
I was getting some strong, like, Arya, Lyanna Stark type vibes.
No, she was a little bit, she had more of a, I don't know, when you first meet her, she had more of a, I guess because of the way he said it too, because he thought she was going to hunt something like simple rabbit. And she was like, deer. And he was like, oh, what did he say? What a ambitious choice or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he said it in a nice way, but I kind of took it as, okay, so you're a female, you're about to go hunt this big deer. And the way that she answered him, she had an attitude like, no, I want to do this by myself. And she, she goes off hunting or whatever. We see her riding the horse. Now, obviously, she's a skilled, horsewoman, equestrian, whatever you want to call it. So when she's on her way back, there's a hooded figure standing in the middle of her path. And when she stops and looks at him, he takes a couple of steps towards her. And she's like, husband. Then she opens her mouth and I see what he means when he says that no child would take root in such hostile territory. He doesn't say a word to her. And at no time during his encounter with her, does he seem malicious towards her? He doesn't seem angry. He doesn't seem the way that we've seen him when he's talking about her. He's just very quiet, just very kind of like, okay, I'm here. And she just keeps going on and on and on. She was like, what brings you to the Vale? So do you finally decide to come consummate our marriage? Or did your brother get tired of him?
I see where you're going. I understand. However, in her defense, this motherfucker runs his mouth everywhere else. Like the shit she was saying was he had said about her.
But
also,
this is the question I have.
Also, he was probably talking shit since day one of the wedding.
But I don't know, because I kind of almost feel like maybe he was talking shit about her because of the way she is.
That's what I mean. She's been talking, well,
like maybe
she already a little
his
bit,
reaction to her.
Rough. She's like I said, she's like Lyanna, Lyanna Stark seems to be the type of character from the books that she would kind of be like this. Like, I'm gonna do this shit myself. Even when we saw her in the clip when she was on the horse and they were in the courtyard, the young Starks, Rob and John and them fighting and stuff. Yeah, she was the better fighter. She was the better horse rider. She was the better bow person. And the same thing with Arya. Once Arya figured out how to do shit, she was a badass. But they were
not cool with it. Well, they were not cool about it.
Well, this could be her response to his cruelty.
I don't know. I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like the way that he's been talking about her might be a response to her cruelty.
This is like a reversal of our roles because sometimes we have the opposite.
Right. But I mean, that's really how I feel. Just the way that she came at him. Like I said, he didn't say a word to her when he came in. And if you look, I always say this, look at people's facial expressions. He came up to her. He didn't have any malice on his face. There was nothing on his face, but just, I'm here. And like literally from the moment she sees him, she's ragging him. What are you doing in the veil? Are you here to finally consummate our marriage? And I took that as a dig about his impotence. So maybe if that happened during their marriage night, she started ragging on him. Of course, he's going to say something to her, or he's going to have some kind of feelings about that, because we saw, even though he couldn't finish, he had no problem getting it up with the whore. You know what I'm saying? So we know that there's probably certain things, like I think all of this is like mentally, tied to his mental state.
Yeah,
so if she started out the marriage that way, that's probably why he was like, oh, I don't want to be around her. She's nasty. She's cruel. I'm totally Team Daemon on this in this point.
Okay,
I really
am. I'm not going to argue with you because I'm Team Daemon too.
Yeah, because
he didn't say a word. He just
She was like, what are you doing in the veil? Did you finally come to consummate our marriage, or did your brother get tired of you, choosing a little girl over you? And I mean, she just kept ragging and kept ragging. And she was like, what are you going to do? Kill the little babe? And then she like, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to be honest. Looking at the way he was responding to her, I don't even think that crossed his mind until she made it known that that's what crossed her mind. And he was like, oh, you know what? I can get rid of this way quicker. But even then, I don't think what he did with the horse was on purpose. Like, she reacted. She was trying to pull out her bow. I feel like he was reacting to her like he was about to defend himself, which he was right to do. The horse got startled. And to me, it looked like he was trying to grab the horse's reins. And the horse got startled, fell backwards on her, cracked her back. And I think at that point, he just looked at it like, oh, that's what you get, you bitch. You talking all that shit, and now you on the ground. He was about to turn around and walk off. I feel like if he was there with malice in his heart and in his mind, when she fell, he would have killed her. You saw him go over there and step on her arm, and he didn't do anything. He just looked at her. Still no real emotion on his face. He didn't look at her like, aha. He didn't look at her like he was happy. He was just like, oh, well, that's what happened. He was
checking to see if she was paralyzed.
So he turned around. He was getting ready to leave. And I don't know what it is about this word craven. I'm going to have to look it up. She calls him a craven. And we see from the last episode, that word does not have good consequences for the people who speak it. He reaches down because she's like, Craven, I knew you wouldn't be able to finish it. And I think when she said that was a double-edged sword.
That's his trigger.
He was like, oh, okay. He picks up a rock and then it cuts. So we already know, as we find out later on, when they talk about her death, they say that her spine was shattered and her head was smashed. Yeah, he beat that bitch. He beat her head in. But I gotta say, again, just the way that I read that scene, I don't feel like he was in the wrong. Shit, like he literally came home, didn't open his mouth, and she just starts going on. And I'm like, if anything, y'all may not spend a lot of time together, but you know what kind of violent and rash person he is. He is a Targaryen. Come on.
Chaotic.
So for you to
what did visit chaotic and impulsive?
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that you sat here and just kept digging at him, yeah, you dug your own grave. I'm so sorry. I have no hello, Rhea Royce. Goodbye, Rhea Royce. She brought that on herself. I mean,
I don't have enough information to argue either way. I can just go by based on what I saw, and she had said some harsh words, you know, and the horse was already on edge. And I don't ride horses, but from what I understand about horse riding is that horses can sense how the rider is feeling. So if she became uneasy, the horse is going to feel uneasy.
And then think about it. He tried to calm the horse down. He was trying to approach for it. He was trying to calm the horse down.
Yeah, but however, Damon ain't stupid. He's not stupid.
Nope.
He knows, he could tell when the horse was first, you know, a little uneasy about him. He knew if he got close to the horse was gonna do something it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not gonna give him, I'm not gonna completely absolve him of any wrongdoing.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I know she didn't help the situation, but I'm sure he is a chaotic, impulsive. He saw an opportunity, and you know, whatever happened, and it happened.
I will say
but he noticed that the horse was not easy with his presence. So if he took a step aggressive, you know, if he took a step towards the horse and reached for it, the horse was gonna go back from him.
But that's the thing. He wasn't even aggressive with it. He
not aggressive, but just like walking, even if he raises his hand. Horses can be real skittish, especially if the rider is uneasy. He reached out and you know, walking towards the horse, all that was gonna make the horse feel, whoa, I don't like this situation. And they got her thrown because she wasn't easy about the situation, especially reaching for a bow. That was the only weapon she had. Because I've seen some stuff on the internet like, what did she think she was going to do with the bow at that sort of range? Well, that was the only weapon she had. And maybe she thought she was good enough to be able to, she may have hit him with it or something. But yeah, she was completely uneasy about the whole situation. That made the horse uneasy. He startled the horse, whether intentional or not. The horse got startled.
I don't think he startled the horse. I think she did.
Yeah, because she was completely uneasy. But I'm not going to completely absolve him because, again, he ain't a stupid person.
He's not a stupid person.
He's a dragon rider, and he knows that when you ride these creatures, these beasts, they can tell how you feel and which you are. So he may have been like, you know what, let me try to calm the horse down because I can tell the horse is a little bit uneasy. He may not have needed to step towards, he may needed to step back. He didn't say any words of comfort. He didn't say any words of encouragement. He didn't say anything. So it wasn't like he was trying to diffuse the situation. He may not have been trying to intentionally escalate, but he wasn't trying to diffuse it either. So he let her rant.
I think he was just trying to see how the situation was going to go.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing about Damon. He may be chaotic, but he's also a patient man.
He is.
In a lot of ways. He's like, oh, okay, I can sit here and wait and see how this is gonna work out. But
we also know he's not afraid to throw caution to the wind and see what happens.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's what he did in this situation.
I just think he may have saw an opportunity and you know,
she should have kept her mouth shut.
She was between a rock and a hard place, is what she was.
She should have just kept her mouth shut. She could have just kept her mouth shut. Oh, what are you doing here? Your brother sent you back. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And went past him.
Oh, she wasn't going to do that because she'd been hearing these people. This is what he's saying. It's getting back to her. She knows exactly what he's been saying about her.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words cannot hurt me until I say them at the person while sitting on top of a horse.
But see, he ain't talking to her. So all she gets is what he's saying about her behind her back. And, you know, unfortunately, some of us need to have a thicker skin. Her skin must not be that thick.
I
She may
guess.
have thought his skin was thicker because maybe she thought he could take it. But however, she dead.
She dead.
She dead. She dead. She ain't coming back. No
Mm-mm.
reruns for her.
Nope. One and done.
One and done.
Like, I don't even think she was on the screen for a full 5 minutes.
It's amazing that his two most plot moving scenes, he had said not a word. Not a word.
Didn't even need to really do anything. In this scene, just his presence was enough to make things happen.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. Daemon Targaryen, BDE. I'm just saying. And that's just the beginning of the episode. We haven't even gotten to the end of the episode, which we will save for last because I got a lot of things to say about that. End of the episode. All right, let's move on to another Targaryen.
Well, we see that we see them on the boat, Viserys and company going, I guess, to
Driftmark.
Let
me tell you, the king is a punk. How gonna go?
Can we say, wait, can we say whatchamacallit got promoted to the Hand, right? Is this the first time we've seen him as the Hand?
Yes. Lionel Strong, and we said that in the last episode. We said that he needed to be the Hand. So we'll talk about that a little bit later because that comes into other stuff. But let's talk about how the king is a punk. How are you the king, but you have to get on a boat with your people to sell to the person who defied you, who has been defying you for at least the last 5 years, so that you can go tell him, hey, I want my daughter to wed your son. No fanfare. Nobody meets him at the water's edge. There's no kind of feast for him in the hall. I was just like, Lord Corlys is treating you like a commoner. I mean, he's saying all the nice things and he's doing what he's supposed to do. But as soon as those words were out of the king's mouth, he said, hold up, I want to make sure we got some things straight. He was like, so how is the succession going to go down? And are these kids going to have their dad's last?
Let's skip ahead just a little bit. Now, when he was along with Princess Rhaenyra, he did say, did I come on too strong? Like, he knew he was taking a chance because Viserys could have easily commanded him to come to King's Landing. He could have, but he didn't. So coming to Driftmark was a way to sort of apologize, to kind of make up for not doing what he should have done the previous.
He's the king. He shouldn't have to apologize for shit.
No, he shouldn't. But remember, he's trying to be like his father, his grandfather. He's trying to peace. He's trying to do peace. Now, I'm sure he did not expect to get there and he sees, what's the boy's name?
Laenor
and the Knight of Kisses crossing swords in the courtyard to be his greeting.
Right.
I'm sure he was not expecting that. You know, and Corlys, I think Corlys made a calculated mistake because the king did come to you. The least you could have done was have the fanfare for him. You could have done that because you knew what he was coming for, and you knew his coming was the royal way to apologize.
That was extending the olive branch.
Right. So the least you could have done was have the fanfare. So I will fault Corlys for that. And I think he recognized that he was taking a chance by not doing it. Because that's a severe insult.
I just feel like
had it been me, if I was Viserys, I'd be like, you know, fuck this motherfucker. Let's get back on the boat. You know what I mean?
I don't think Viserys was trying to get back on that boat no time soon.
Because what did he do? As soon as he was done, he went and got in the bed for them to get ready to leave.
For them to get ready to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's on this boat throwing up. And then when Rhaenys comes to greet him, she grabs him by the hand. He done threw up all over his hands. I'm just like, you know, we living in COVID times. You got fluids on your gloves. You ain't changed your gloves. You're sitting there coughing every 2 or 3 minutes. Like, they all looking at him like, dude, are you about to drop dead in my hall? Like,
and then, like, he didn't even come greet him. Like, Viserys had to walk all the way to the throne room, like,
with Lady Laenor.
You really
as his escort.
You really pushing that, Corlys.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he got pretty much everything he wanted.
Yeah. I find it interesting that Lord Corlys was the one who had to break the news about Lady Royce's passing. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm so sad that you had to come on such bad tidings. And the king is like, what you talking about? Oh yeah, Daemon's wife has passed. She had a horrible accident on her horse, and you can see Lionel Strong sitting there like, oh shit. He just sitting there calculating like, huh.
I'm gonna assume that the ravens from the Vale got to Driftmark, and they had probably already left King's Landing by the time the ravens got to King's Landing.
He probably didn't send word to his brother. His brother said he didn't want to see him again.
No. The Maester would have sent a raven. That is not something that the Maesters would not do. They would immediately send ravens out to everybody to let them know, because she was the heir to Runestone. So they would have sent ravens out for that. Because remember, the Maesters.
I know. I'm just thinking about something. I'm just thinking about something that I read that happens later on in this story. And I was like, yeah, the Maesters don't always tell folks when folks die.
They don't, but this will be something that they would definitely tell the Citadel, because they need to keep track of this lineage thing.
We'll come back to that statement.
We'll come later.
Because we'll come back to that. But anyway, so yeah, Lord Corlys is like, so how's the succession going to be handled? And I will say this for Viserys, okay? You know, we sit here and we talk about how weak of a king he is, how inactive. I like the fact that he is sticking his guns on saying, Rhaenyra is my heir. Even though, yes, I have 2 young sons, she is still my heir. And whoever her children will be, no matter what gender, they will take the throne after her. I do like him for that progressive thinking, because we know that it's not always easy being the one to break the will in that sense. And he's sticking to his guns on it, which we know
he said their kids will be Valerian, but whichever one takes the throne will change the name to Targaryen.
Yep.
And that is only fair.
Yeah. I mean, and Lord Corlys, he was kind of like, okay, that's a good compromise. But the way that he hesitated on everything, I was just like, dude, you were like pushing the envelope. Like, you were trying to see just how much leeway you were going to have. And at some point, you're going to piss Viserys off. It wasn't today, but I feel like he's towing that line. He's like that errant child. He's like the kid that gives mom and dad all the grief and just trying to see how much further he can go before he gets in trouble. Yeah. That's how I feel like Lord Corlys is.
Yeah, and I kind of want to revisit or rethink about this idea that Viserys is a weak king. I don't necessarily think he's weak.
Okay, so when I say him being weak, I don't necessarily mean in the way that he rules, because he has been, I mean, and we see him worry about this later on in the episode. He has ruled the way that his grandfather ruled. He's been trying to keep the peace, and all of his decisions were based on that, which I understand. But I think when it comes to making the tough decisions, he tends to kind of he doesn't stay firm with it. Like, how many times has he banished his brother? And Daemon just struts on back up.
He comes on back. How long was he at Dragonstone before anybody did anything about it?
Right. He was there, what, 6 months?
Yeah.
And then he went to war for 3 years?
Yeah. But then, you know, that's his brother. That's different.
But still, you are the king. When people see that your word is not bond, when your word is not law, you literally told Daemon you don't want to set your eyes on him ever again. And he shows up for the wedding and just looks, and the king's just looking at him like, this motherfucker here. But what does he do? He has them pull out a chair,
right?
Because he doesn't want to cause a scene. But again, you are in a situation right now where everybody is looking at what you do. And yes, some people might say, oh, he's a merciful king, he's a forgiving king. Some people might look at that and say, oh, if he can't control his own brother, how is he going to control the 7 kingdoms?
Oh, well, see, I could be one of those people that would be like, these fucking Targaryens, they bend over backwards for each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they treat everybody else like shit.
Mm-hmm.
He treats Lord Corlys like shit. He does. But because he won't let Lord Corlys back into the court.
Right.
Because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
But of course.
And I'm going to be honest too. Yeah, we keep talking about how, as disgusting as it is to us, him picking Lady Laenor would have been the better choice. It would have been the better political match for him as king.
But he stood his ground and was like,
he stood his ground because he was like, I'm tired of people trying to tell me what to do. So I respect that about him.
Yeah, and he stood his ground about staying out of a war in the Stepstones.
Mm-hmm.
He stood his ground about that. He said, we're going to do diplomatic because he wanted to be like his grandfather. He wanted peace.
Yeah.
He didn't want conflict. So I'm just saying, it's easy to say that he's weak and maybe his decisions could have been better, but he sort of did rule a time of peace, which unfortunately, just like Jaehaerys, you have a situation where a lot of people going to have a claim to the throne because you didn't have any wars. You didn't have any conflict.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why Jaehaerys had 14 people with a claim to the throne.
Right.
You know, here he's going to have 3 at least, really. Rhaenyra, his 8.
Well, actually, I think at this point,
whatchamacallit, Daemon, that's 3. Princess Rhaenys will be 4. This is a lot of people.
Because I think at this point, he and Alicent, they either have 2 kids or they have 3 at this point.
I think they have 3.
So,
and you know, who knows how that's gonna go.
Well, I will say this: after this episode last night, I got a little curious because I was like, okay, there's some things I just have to know. So I kind of went to the wiki of Ice and Fire and looked up a couple of characters, and I was like, oh, this shit is gonna get so fucking messy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Speaking of messy, are we gonna talk about the High Tower boy? Not the High Tower, the Strong Larys.
Oh, we're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about him, but while we're at Driftmark, we're gonna talk about him.
That's the real little finger right there.
I know, not yet. We still on Driftmark. We gotta talk about Laenor, and we gotta talk about Laenor and Rhaenyra and the Night of Kisses and all this other stuff. Okay, so I know I hinted about this in the last episode because I had heard that, you know, Laenor swings for the other side. So I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting how this marriage goes. And when we first see her and Laenor together, they're walking on the shore and she's literally breaching this up. I was like, okay, just go on ahead and get the elephant out the room. She was like, yeah, so I understand that this marriage is not what either one of us wanted. And he was like, it has nothing to do with you. And she was like, oh no, I understand. She was like, it has to do with, you know, taste. She was like, some people like goose and other people like roasted duck. And she was like, you know, basically saying, I know that you have certain appetites that I can't, feel, and I have certain appetites. So she's basically in a very roundabout way telling him that she knows about his preference for men.
She should know because remember, Corlys said they grew up together. He does know.
Yeah.
But
I would think that even with cousins, because that's still taboo especially for a family of royal blood, that wouldn't be something they openly talk about. So she's letting him know, okay, yeah, I kind of know about this.
Only a few people knew about Renly Baratheon. So
right. So she just basically is like, okay, you know what? We'll do this wedding. She was like, and when we do our duty to king and country, or to the realm and our families, you do what you want. You go dine however you want, and I'm gonna die however I want. And he looks at her and he kind of smiles like, okay, I think I can get down with this. It's nice that they can have this conversation before the wedding, because, most of these people in these times, they can't have those conversations. But I think because of the fact that they grew up together and they are close as cousins, which is so weird to say, that they can have this conversation and be like, oh, okay, so we're on the same page. We're cool. That's going to come to bite Laenor in the ass later on, but not because of anything that she does. It's just, so anyway, his friend that he was, sword fighting with.
Crossing swords with. Literally.
The Knights of Kisses.
The Knight of Kisses. Yes. That's definitely a little bit lower than the Knight of Flowers,
He's not as cute. I'm sorry. Sir Loras was gorgeous. But anyway, we'll get on the Knight of Kisses later, because he's not even really important in this part. Like we established that they are together, him and Laenor. And he basically tells Laenor, look, she just granted you leave to be with who you want. This is the perfect opportunity for us, because you're going to need a protector. So I could just come with you and we can handle it that way. He was like, obviously she has somebody else that she likes. So it's a win-win for everybody. Not quite everybody.
No. Well, because the Knight of Kisses can't keep them lips puckered. Well, that's his problem.
We'll
circle back to that.
Yeah, even before that part, they're already back on the ship, going back home. And Sir Criston comes up to the princess. And when Sir
Criston, the pride of Dorne, Sir Criston.
I felt so bad for him, because we've already speculated that he and the princess have had feelings for each other, probably for a while. And of course, she broke a cherry with him.
Yeah, but her feelings for him are not the same as his feelings.
I don't think in that sense. No, I don't think she feels as strongly for him. I do think, okay, so when he was having the conversation with her and the look on her face, and when she turned around and turned her back to him, I think there was a split second where she might have considered what he was saying, maybe just a split second.
Just for a split second.
Right, because even when he said, being able to choose who you want for love, I don't know if I feel like she loves him in the same way that he obviously loves her, but I do think that she does love him. But enough to give up her kingdom? No. And I think that was
her sense of duty, obligation, didn't outweigh the feelings she had for him.
Right. And did not weigh the feeling for wanting to be free to do whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because even if you think about it, yes, she complains about her power and her station and the lot that has been handed to her. But if you think about it from her point of view, if she ascends, she will be the first queen ever of Westeros. That's not something to just kind of lightly throw away.
That's no idle thing.
No, that is a huge thing. Yeah. And I don't even think she doesn't want it for power like most people want it. She wants it, because even what she was saying before when she was talking about, her forefather, Aegon Targaryen, she was like, he united the 7 kingdoms, and she was about to say, and put them on a path And that's when he walked off from her. So she didn't get to finish, but I feel like that's what she wants to do. She wants to unite the kingdoms, and she wants to be a great queen.
And I also think that the prophecy weighs on her too, like the significance of that burden that Viserys was telling her that the Targaryen kings have. I think that sort of is part of what's playing in her mind too. Like, I have this thing that I have to have us prepared for. You know,
but I think she considered it for a quick second,
for a split second.
But I felt so bad for him because he was pouring his heart out to her, like, I want you to marry me and blah blah blah. And then when she basically tells him no, she was like, Laenor and I have an agreement. He will continue his pursuits and I can continue mine. Nothing has to change. And he was like, so you want me to be your whore? I was like, wow, this is a role reversal and I'm here for it. I'm sorry.
He escalated it quickly, though.
It escalated quickly because he was like, oh, so you want me to be your whore? She was like, I just want things to continue the way they were. You be my white knight. And when she said that, he was like, but I've sullied myself. I'm supposed to be chaste. I'm supposed to be celibate. And I ruined that. He was like, that's all I have to my fucking name.
Is dirty.
He's like, that's all I have to my fucking name. And I mean, I understand his distress, especially when you're a person that's lowborn.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though, he's not loyalty, that is a high position. That is a position of respectability. It is a position of trust and honor.
And he was going to be fiercely loyal to her.
Yeah.
For putting him in that position.
Right.
Well, not the current position, but the previous position. Not the previous position, the first position.
Right. But I just felt like when he said that, and she was just like, I don't think she meant to break his heart like that, but I was not expecting it to take that turn. Like, he was dead serious. I was like, oh.
And he was crushed.
He was crushed because he just walked off from her.
And
I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna have a happy ending or not.
No, it's not. Not the way he felt. He was crushed because, like he said, the only way he felt like he can fix that was to go off with her and get married. That was the only way he would be able to get his honor back.
Right. And not only that, I think for him too, maybe that was a way for him to feel like he didn't sully her.
Right.
You know, because he is about honor. And
oh no, I don't think he was thinking about her honor. I think he was totally thinking about his own honor.
Okay.
Yes, he wasn't thinking about her honor.
Okay.
He was thinking about the vow he took, the oath he took. He broke it, and now he feels there's a lot of guilt in there. There's a lot of guilt in there.
So let's talk about this guilt. Because when
he's carrying like a big bag on his back, he's carrying that guilt around,
and he was ready to lay it down too. Because the minute he got back to the Red Keep and the Queen summoned him, you know, we'll talk about how she got this information. But she asks him about the night that Daemon returned, and she was like, "There's these malicious rumors that have been, that have surfaced." About the princess's virtue. And of course, you know, I care for her and I don't want to think of anything immoral, but the slander and he was like, no, it's true. And she was like, at first she was upset because she thought Rhaenyra lied to her. He was like, the sin that you speak of, it happened. I was the one who did. And then it's like you could see her face. She's sitting there. There's so many things crossing her face. She's like, hold up, wait. Okay, so she didn't sleep with Daemon, but she did sleep with Sir Criston.
No.
But she told me.
Lied. First, the bitch lied.
Well, no. Again,
she didn't lie. She told me she didn't sleep with Daemon, but then she slept with this motherfucker who we both know that we both like.
Right. But the other thing too, like, remember we talked about last episode. Rhaenyra didn't lie to you about that. No. She never said that she wasn't a maiden anymore.
Nope.
She just never said who it was. You asked her specifically about Daemon.
She said Daemon didn't touch me.
Right.
I didn't do nothing with Daemon. I did nothing with Daemon.
Daemon. Because that's the only thing.
Targaryen, I didn't do nothing with Daemon Targaryen.
Because that's the only thing the queen asked her about. If she had said, did you settle yourself with anybody? Rhaenyra might have been like, well, because again, they were at that point where I felt like they were starting to kind of bridge that divide in their friendship. Yeah, nope. The queen was like, oh, okay. And so Criston is like, I went against my vows, and if you would be so kind as to not
gild me
and torture me,
just
kill me
straight
outright.
Just kill me straight up.
I was like, damn, you really holding on to some guilt, dude.
He needed to go to confession or something. He needed to go talk to the High Septon, something.
But she let him go. She was like, you may go, you may leave. And he's just
she needed to process it. Like, she couldn't say, well, I'm not going to kill you. She's like, okay, you can leave. He leave like, what does that mean? Just kind of looked and walked out. But she needed to process it. I also want to say that back in about her conversation with Ray about what happened, if she had approached her a little bit differently and not accusatory, she may have told her. Like, Ray probably would have told her, nah, I didn't sleep with Damon, but you know, that Sir Cole, that dude, he's everything we thought, everything we talked about.
Right.
You may want to try some of that.
Right.
Because they were almost back on that
right.
level.
But I think too, that's probably another thing that got Alicent upset, because Rhaenyra had a choice in what she did and how she lost her maidenhead. She had a choice.
She chose not to lose to Damon. She chose Cole.
But even if she had done with Damon, that would have been her choice.
Her choice. Yeah.
It would have been her choice. It wasn't anything that was forced upon her. It isn't anything that she was arranged to. She had her choice to do what she wanted. And I think that probably made Alicent upset more than anything. Yeah. So, but anyway, so let's talk about Alicent. Let's go to Lord Larys.
He's the real little finger.
You know who he reminded me of?
Everywhere. Who?
He reminded me of what's his name in Shadow and Bone? The creepy.
Oh, what was his name?
I cannot think of
it. Was weird.
Yes,
not the Advocate.
And you know, I was just thinking about this afternoon. I had it in my head and everything. But he had me
this little bitty little seeds, and you sprinkle that seed and you treat that seed however you want to treat it.
But here's my question: how the fuck you know all of this?
Well, he's supposed to become the master of whisperers. So you know what did he say? There are times when
he said, when you're not invited to speak, you learn to observe. And I understand that, but that means you got to be around quite a bit at the.
No one pays him any attention. He's just creeping around. People be talking. He just kind of sit down in the back and just listen. He's just creeping around.
And he knows stuff nobody else is supposed to know. Like, how you know the Maester took that tea to Rhaenyra? How do you know this?
The person, well, you know, maybe if he was around when the Maester was asking for the ingredients. I'm just saying, people like him, they know things. I got people in the building where I work who be knowing things. How do you know that?
Well,
things that only me and somebody else know. How do you know that? Oh, I know. I just heard. Okay. Yeah, it happens. The castle is a big place. There's a lot of people, a lot of moving parts. If you observing, all you gotta do is put two and two together. He could have just been walking around. A person like him is probably walking around in the middle of the night all the time. He probably sitting in the lobby. You remember when I was at UGA, Russell Hall, all you had to do was sit in the lobby. You didn't have to ask no questions. You just sit in the lobby and watch who's coming in, who's coming out, who's coming down to buzz people in.
Right.
You could do that to 3-4 o'clock in the morning. You know everything.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
You didn't ask a single question.
That's true.
You know,
but I guess it makes me wonder, because I feel like he and his brother are old enough that they wouldn't necessarily be living at the castle with their father, who is now the hand of the king. But I'm like, okay, Sir Harwin, is he one of the King's Guard, or is he, because we don't see him very often. We saw him a little bit in the
I don't think he's Kingsguard.
okay.
I think he may have just been part of his protection detail.
Okay.
Because remember when Ned came to be handed the king, he brought Sansa and
so
Arya
maybe
with
just
him.
part of the house guard or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably head of the house guard. Because remember when they were on the hunt, he was there too.
Right. That's what I was thinking. But I
were.
was like, he wasn't in a gold cloak. He wasn't in a white cloak. So I was just like, okay.
Yeah, he's probably part of the house guard.
Okay.
And he probably brought Laris along too. Because Lionel ain't stupid either. Lionel probably getting all his information. He probably trained Laris to do what he does.
You're right.
You know, and I would not put it past him to like, this is the person where I get the information that I need as a hand of the king. Even when he wasn't hand of the king, this is someone that you want, that you know you can trust, that is going to always give you all the information that you need.
Right.
You got a big, strong dude who can kick everybody's ass when you need him to.
Right.
You know what I mean? That if I was going to have two sons like that, I could work with that.
Yeah, you're right.
And being Lord of Harrenhal, they have a little bit of power because that is one of the great castles. As damaged as the towers are, that's still one of the great castles in Westeros.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But that dude, when I tell you, he knew all the tea, literally and figuratively. He knew all the tea. And he was just sitting there whispering to Alicent. And she could tell. She was like, okay, so what's your business? Say what you want to say. Stop skirting around. He was just like, oh, okay. So yeah, let me tell you about this and let me tell you about that.
He's like, I hope your friend is okay. Why would you ask if that? Oh, because the Grand Maester brought her some tea. Oh, the Grand Maester? Yeah, the Grand Maester brought her some tea.
I hope she's
under the order of the king. I hope she's okay.
I hope she's well. And Alicent is like, hold the fuck up. Like, why would he be bringing her some tea if she was as innocent as she said she was? He could have been doing that as preventive caution, like, oh yeah, I don't believe you, so you're gonna drink this anyway.
But see, she irrational. She's not gonna think that.
Yeah. See, and all Sir Criston had to do was just wait for her to spit everything out. Because she was gonna say between Rhaenyra and Daemon. But then again, that probably would have set him off even more, because he would have been like, oh, did you go sleep with Daemon and then come sleep with me? You know, to hide that. That would have been so ugly.
That would have been. But he couldn't wait. He can't help it. He's
been waiting to confess.
He's ready to confess. He's ready. Now, the only thing I couldn't think of, and you may be able to enlighten me on your book knowledge or, you know, A Song of Ice and Fire wiki knowledge. What is Laris's angle? Like, was he fishing for more information? Like, was he doing one of those things where he was giving her information, hoping he would get information in return?
I don't think so. I haven't read anything about him in the series, so I don't know. But just from what I saw on the screen, I feel like he is that type of person. I mean, we mentioned Littlefinger earlier. I feel like he's that type of person that's just going to say something that's going to plant that seed of doubt into someone's mind, especially for someone like Alicent, who now finds herself all alone. Her father is gone. Chances are her brother is gone as well. So she's there all alone. She doesn't really have any friends. You know, he made the comment about her having allies, and she was like, I'm the queen. I have a lot of allies, but you don't have any friends. And you said as much to Rhaenyra in the last episode. Rhaenyra is one of your only friends, and the fact that she may not have been honest with you about something like that. I mean, think about it. They were best friends.
Yeah.
They were inseparable.
I see what he was doing now. He was trying to.
He's sowing that seed. He's starting that seed of divide.
But he was also trying to get into her safe space. Like he's trying to become, maybe if I give her this, she will trust me. So he gave her a little bit, because now she knows that he's going to give her information.
Right.
And this is how Master of Whispers work. He's going to be able to establish a rapport with her. Like she needs allies. I can be an ally.
Yeah.
So because I do know that he ain't her ally. In the end, he's not going to be her ally, but he is going to be. It's like it'll be better for him to be a part of what she knows and have access to information than to not be a part of it.
Okay.
Especially if he's as smart as I think he is, he can see where all this is going anyway. Okay. I think everyone kind of knows that this is not going to end well for the Targaryens.
Right. I tell you, that dude though, he was clever. Because he just, first of all, he showed up out of nowhere. And then he just kind of slinks on down to her. And he says the little things in her ear to make her go, Because I guarantee if he had never said that to her, she would have never thought to ask Sir Criston about Rhaenyra.
Oh, because he said, "Oh, your father is gone, so you're kind of like by yourself." Can we go back to when her father was hightailing it out of there? Did that sound like a confession to you? This man is gonna die. He is not gonna live to be an old man.
You know what? I don't want to say it sounds like a confession, because if you look at the king the way he is now, it's obvious. What is it? Michelle said he ain't long for this world.
He ain't long.
And he said, he was like, it might be days, it might be years, but he will not grow to be an old man. If you think about it, in this instance right now, Viserys is still only in his 30s, maybe early 40s.
Yeah.
Because book-wise, I think he's about 20 years older than her, maybe. So, but it's weird because when I went on my little wiki dive yesterday, I found out that at the time of her mother's death, Rhaenyra was only 8. So I was like, "Ooh, I'm so glad they aged her up."
So the actor, what's his name, Paddy
Considine,
or whatever. Yeah, he spilled the beans that it's a form of leprosy.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting because I also, before I heard that, I had heard a rumor, or I saw on the interwebs, that he is in fact being poisoned. That he was given this, and is very similar to Oberyn Martell, the poison that he had kind of used to kill, the mountain.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, okay.
I saw something about that.
Saw that too.
Yeah, but I don't know if I saw that it was happening quite that early, but I know towards the later part of his years, I do believe he was being poisoned, and I did read who was poisoning him. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay. The Apparat, that's the dude's name.
That's his name. Yeah.
Sir Larys is the Apparat of this show. Because when I first saw him, I was like, why they always got to make these dudes look really greasy, look like their hair hasn't been combed, and he's supposed to be young. I'm like, sneakiness ages people.
That's part of writing. You got to make the person look the part, because there's some things that you can't get across in just what they say. You got to
know, but I guess to me, it would be more unexpected to have someone look like Sir Criston Cole and be the master of whispers, somebody that is attractive and, you know, strong and gives off this air and has this respectability and this honor. And for them to be
the master of whispers is supposed to be slimy, underhanded, and
no,
like
but I'm just
nasty.
saying.
No. You got it backwards.
I'm just saying.
The master of coin is supposed to look like that dude because that's the dude with the money. He's supposed to look nice and cute, and you know, he's supposed to be the dude. The master of ships supposed to be flamboyant and loud, and you know, they're supposed to fit those roles.
I know.
You can't have a master of whispers coming there looking like James Bond. No.
I'm just saying.
They're supposed to look like Severus Snape.
Mix it up a little bit sometimes.
With the patch over the eye or something. And bald head and whatnot. They're supposed to look like, they're supposed to be those people that make you uncomfortable.
I guess. I'm just saying they can switch it up every once in a while.
You just want everybody to look pretty.
No, you know what? It's not even about that. I'm trying to think, because I know there's a character that plays that kind of shadiness, but it's a character that when you look at them or when you interact with them, you would never. And I guess in a way, Littlefinger kind of fits that, because Littlefinger was an attractive man, but there was something about the way he carried himself that made you say, yeah, but he wasn't altogether just shady. You know what I'm saying? When you first look at him, I'm just saying, every once in a while, throw me off with a character. Give me a character who looks like they are the best of the best in the country, but they're actually the worst scum. Give me a character who looks like they need to be sitting on the grounds of Flea Bottom, but in fact knows everything, sees everything, does everything, is smarter than everybody in the room. I'm just saying, just mix it up a little bit.
It sounds like Daemon Targaryen, but yeah, that's neither here nor there.
But I've never really, well, except for that time that he was like sloppy off his ass drunk, I've never really seen him down and bedraggled like that. But you know, that's okay. Yeah, I got it. But yeah, going back to Otto Hightower. So when he's leaving, I like how he just put the blame on his daughter. He was like, yeah, you kind of had something to do with this because you believed Rhaenyra. And she was like, she told me of her innocence and I believed her. And again, I was like, you're using the wrong word. She never told you she was innocent. She told you she didn't fuck her uncle. Yeah. There's a big difference.
But the other thing is, he failed to realize that King Viserys said it don't matter whether she did it or not. That's not even the point. And he got rid of your ass because he realized, yeah, you've been angling to get your grandson to be named the heir.
Yeah.
So it's your fault. And she was right. You played your hand too soon. Like you overplayed your hand.
Yeah, you kept trying to force the issue.
Yeah.
But you know, I think the thing that scared her too was what he said to her when he was leaving, because I don't think she ever considered that. He said, when Viserys dies and Rhaenyra takes the throne, there will be war. And in order, you know, because people will not accept her as queen, and in order to secure her seat, she will put your children to the sword to ensure that she is the only heir. And I really don't think Alicent ever thought that before, because she's still, I think in her mind is like, she's still my friend, even though yes, we are estranged a little bit, but I don't think she thinks that Rhaenyra would have it in her to do that to her.
She doesn't. And I think I know what he was doing and he was wrong for doing that, but Rhaenyra is not the type of person that would do that. And like I said,
she isn't now.
Well, she might now. But going back to our discussion about Viserys, it is sort of his fault for not establishing that she is his heir, regardless of what all y'all think. Like, he needed to go around with her. He needed to go, even as king, or send her out and make sure that these lords understand that she is the heir. She should have
He
been
needed
flying
to
around.
say to
She should
the
have been going down
kingdom,
to the Citadel and telling the High Towers on her back of her dragon, "What's up? I'm your queen to be. Here's my dragon." You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
I
that's what
mean,
she
what
should have
he
been
said to
doing.
Lord Corlys, that's what he should be saying to everybody in the realm.
Yeah.
She will be my heir. And when she has children with her future husband, her children, no matter the gender, will follow her on the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to tell everybody. Like, that was very definitive. And I know it was because it was what Lord Corlys point blank asked him, but that's the energy you need to
the
keep.
energy you need, right? And this is
in
the
the
thing
realm.
that you talked about him being king. He feels like as king, if he says it, then there shouldn't be any question about it. But there is questions about it because you sort of aren't really acting like it. Like you really needed Daemon on your side. You needed Daemon to be on board with this too. You know, you need everybody to be on board. And when Hightower says that, you realize that he has other things in motion. Like he's gonna have her treat and raise these kids. Like, yeah, you're going to have you're creating the situation.
Yeah.
Like had you not ever said anything, she'd have been perfectly fine raising her kids, and the kids would have been just fine. Their half sister was queen, and they'd be all right. One of them may have ended up becoming the hand. You know what I'm saying? It's is really it. One of the things with Game of Thrones is people tend to create these situations on their own devices. Like you create this situation where had you left well enough alone, it probably would have worked out for you.
Right. Because she might look, she said she didn't want to be married. Let her become queen. She could have named Aegon her successor if she didn't have children.
She could have been like Queen Elizabeth and never have a child, never get married, and be like, you know, Aegon, I like him. Aegon, he can be queen after he can be king after I die.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna name him as my heir. As soon as she assumed the throne, she could have been like, Aegon's my heir. Well, that would have pissed off the Valerians, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. If she had ascended to queen and never got married, because she told Daemon, remember, she was like, I don't want to get married. I don't ever have to get married.
Yeah.
Just leave me in solitude. Let me do my thing. But of course, again, she's a woman and she's in medieval times. And they're not, you already see what kind of brouhaha there was about the fact that there's a rumor that she might have lost her maidenhead. So imagine if she was like, oh, okay, I'm the queen. I'm gonna go fuck who I want. They're gonna be like, oh, no, you can't do that. We need a king up there who can do all of that. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I lost track where we are. But we haven't touched upon the wedding, not the wedding, engagement party.
I was gonna say we can go there. No, we can go there. We can go there.
Let's cut to the chase. Okay, so
I want to say the nice thing first. Rhaenyra looked really good. She looked queenly. She looked very regal. She looked queenly.
Alicent looked good too.
We'll talk about Alicent later.
She looked good too.
She really did in her green dress.
Yeah, she did.
Yep. Oh, where do we want to start with this wedding? Okay, so yeah, it's a.
Well, let's start with the night of kisses. Talking that talk.
Yes, let's go. Wait. Do we want to? No, let's not go there yet because of the way that ended and how it led into the stuff at the end. Let's start at the beginning. So, of course, they're having a grand feast to celebrate Rhaenyra and Laenor's engagement. So, of course, the king and Rhaenyra are at the head table. The queen is inconspicuously absent. You know, apparently she's still taking time to get ready. The Velaryons come in and, you know, I will say this. For someone who is being made to make this match, Rhaenyra really does seem like she's trying to make the best of the situation. You know,
she knows what she has to do, and she's going along with what she has to do.
And not only that, but she's she was able to say, okay, you know what? I can marry this person. I have a history with them. I'm close to them. I can get along with them. This can probably work. And we have our own agreement amongst each other. So we know we're not forcing each other to do something. So I really feel like because they have that understanding with each other, they can be as kind of carefree with each other as they are in this night. You know, they get on the floor, they do their I guess that's a dance of dragons too, in a sense. They do that little dance and then everybody else dances and it's cool. But no, let's talk about this. So, like we said, you have all the lords and ladies from all the different realms coming in as part of this thing. And in walks Daemon.
Daemon fucking Targaryen.
Walking in like he owns the place.
He's red and black.
And again, ain't uttered a word. He just walks up. He looks at his brother with that smirk on his face like, you really finna kick me out? And Viserys just looks at him like, oh, hell, here we go. Get his dude a chair. So he puts a chair at the end of the table for Daemon to sit. I'm like, okay. And the other thing, Daemon just keeps looking and like openly staring at Rhaenyra the whole night. I was like, Viserys is going to reach over and snatch you in a minute. Like you are just being openly, I don't even know. I don't know if I want to say lustful. I don't know if I want to say defiant, but he's just
like a combination of all of that.
Yeah.
That's Matt Smith is incredible. He had all of that. Like love, passion, jealousy, and you know, lust.
Right.
All of that. Love because it's family, defiance. Because I killed that bitch. You know, because that was the one thing. Can we talk about the Royce? Sir Royce came up there and was like, you know what happened to my cousin?
He was like, yeah, tragic accident. He was like, no, I'm openly accusing you of killing her. You at the king's table. But yet again, the king ain't saying shit. He just sitting there like,
no. Dave was like, who the fuck are you again?
It was like, she was my cousin. Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Oh, I was like, this motherfucker right here. He really don't give a fuck.
Man, let me tell you.
And he's like, wait. We didn't have no children. She's standing here in Roostone. That means everything that she has, he's supposed to go to her husband.
Right.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk later. That dude just kind of looked like.
We'll iron out the details later. I'll get back with you, bro.
And that dude just sat down. What else can you say?
What you gonna do?
You went up there to accuse this dude of killing your cousin. He was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm the heir. Have my shit ready.
I'll be down there to clean my place in just a little bit. Just go have some turkey legs, some collard greens. You'll be all right over there.
And Viserys is just looking like, what the hell am I gonna do with him?
Can't do shit with Daemon because Daemon don't care, and Daemon has a dragon, so Daemon really don't. That's why I still believe Daemon will make an incredible king. I really believe he would.
You know,
he would make a great king. Y'all want what? What was that y'all wanted? Man, get the fuck out of here.
No, you're giving. He ain't gonna say that much. He's just gonna give them a look. That's it. He ain't got to utter a word.
He the type to never sit on the throne. He ain't ever gonna sit on the throne. He'll have a little table off to the side. Come over here. Let me talk to you. Let me holler at you. He won't ever be at the small council meetings, but he'll know everything, but he'll never be at the small council meetings.
Okay, so hold on.
I'm sorry. We're getting off track.
No, that's fine because we got to talk about some salty dudes. Lord fucking Jason Lannister. Talk about salty that you didn't get chosen. when he asked about the queen and the king was like, what did he say? I'm taken to understanding that she's still getting ready. And he made that quip about, see, that's why men rule, because women would never get there on time. And, and Rhaenyra was like,
that's why women never go to war, because they would never get there on time.
Man, Rhaenyra was like, you're such a charming conversationalist as ever. She was like, and then Viserys just looked at her. She looked at him like this, and this was the motherfucker you tried to give me to. And Viserys just looked at her like, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Like he apologized for that a few episodes ago, but I think in this one, that look was, oh yeah, I'm really sorry about that. He was just looking like, okay.
Yeah, those damn Lannisters.
Man. Let me tell you. Oh, but the other thing about Sir Royce, how you gonna sit here and push off the Lord of Old Town so that you can go and make your accusations to Daemon? They're about to come up in their green, and he's like, I was like, oh, we got some nerve today.
Yeah, right. How dare you, sir? Okay.
How dare you? But oh my goodness. Oh no, I think that was before Daemon got there. But still, the fact that you did that.
Yeah.
And then of course, here comes the Velaryons and all their children. Okay, somebody said this on a thread, and I have to address it.
Before you say that, I swore the Bowbattens was about to come in the way the Valerians came in. I really did. I was like, what am I watching Harry Potter? What is going on here? But
and y'all could y'all not find a better wig maker for these black gray silver wigs? Somebody said it looked like they took some skeins of yarn and just did something to them and threw them on top of their heads.
The only thing I'm gonna say is apparently the people that they needed to talk to about this, they didn't go talk to. Because there's some ladies here on the street that would have told them exactly what they needed to do and how to make it work. And I'm not going to go on a soapbox about how Hollywood works or about how they hire their costume people or what they. It is sad and unfortunate that something as simple as that, like you can spare some change to fly to find the people that could do this shit right and tell you this is exactly what you need to do to make it look right. Instead of having it look
believable.
Right. Instead of having the people who think they know what they're doing. There's a difference. And I think Ryan Coogler showed us that with Black Panther. And whoever the director escapes me for Shang-Chi. Same thing. You hire people who know what they're doing with the people that you have.
Yeah.
And what you see on screen with the Valerians is when you have people who think they know what they're doing, but they actually don't.
Yeah. Because that hair game is horrible.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And I think we're I hate to say this, but I feel like we're the only ones that see that. Like, because this is a show that we are watching, we as a people, my people, my brothers and my sisters, POCs are watching this, and we all recognize that even from day one, even from the promos, we were like, what is this bullshit y'all got going on? So it's obvious that y'all didn't talk to the right people.
They could have came to the hood. Seriously. Yes. And I'm not making this in jest. You come to a black neighborhood, because the whole gray hair thing, the silver hair thing, that is a trend. Come here and see how people do it. My daughter did it a couple of years ago. Got her hair dyed gray. It looked fantastic. Get the gray. Come, like you said, come to the neighborhoods where they know how to do this shit. You want to pay somebody thousands of dollars. Take somebody who knows what they're doing, because I can guarantee you the black hairdresser around the corner for me is not getting $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $20,000 to make a gray wig, but they can make a gray wig and make it look believable. So if they can do that on the little budget that they have compared to a Hollywood budget, what do you think they're going to do with a Hollywood budget? Man, please.
They would be like, what you want? You want dreads? You want locks? I mean, how you want it? What you want? Braids? They could have made it look any kind of way y'all wanted. Look
flowing silver hair, curls. We can do it.
If anything, they could have fixed, Viserys' hair and made it look right, because his wigs sometimes don't be looking right.
I think his stuff is supposed to be looking like that, because as you see through the episode,
it's starting to affect his
he's
whole
starting
life.
to age. Yes, he's starting to age a little bit faster because of his supposed sickness. So I think that's on purpose.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox about that. But
yeah,
like I said,
we're just gonna say when it comes to black hair. Yeah, we're just gonna say when it comes to black hair in Hollywood, or not even in Hollywood, because this is not in Hollywood, this is overseas, but still, when it comes to black hair in film and TV, do better, y'all. It's 2022. There is no excuse for why these wigs look the way they do.
I'm looking at Larys's hair and I'm like, what?
I mean,
and even Laenor, I'm just like, hers might be the best, but
Laenor looks like his wig looks like he needs to be on the he looks like he needs to be on the Muppet Show somewhere.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible. But anyway, we're gonna get off our soapbox.
Like I said, they came in like the Beauxbatons.
I mean, and it was nice the way they came in, and like I said, Rhaenyra went and greeted her betrothed, and they made this nice little show. Like I said, for her to be in a situation that she doesn't necessarily want to be in, she's making the best of it. Like, I don't look at her and say, oh, she's unhappy with her wedding. She looks like, okay, you know what? This is what I gotta do. We're gonna make it work. At least I'm getting married to somebody I can actually stand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, after they get there and after Daemon makes his show, the king starts to give a speech. And in the middle of his speech, here walks in the queen in her green gown. Mm. At first, of course, because I don't know the histories, I was just looking at it like, oh, she finally took her mama's dress off, because she wore that earlier in the episode too. But the purpose of the green light is a symbol. Mm-hmm. And the strong,
they call their banners to war.
When they call their banners to war. And that was something that the Strong brothers sat there and discussed, because at first they were saying, oh, the king is going to be pissed off that she showed up in the middle of his speech. And then as people start looking around as she's walking in, nobody's standing up at first. And then as she kind of walks in and she's just kind of walking, people start standing up little by little. And then everybody,
yeah. But the first thing I noticed was the green dress, because when she wasn't wearing her mom's dress, she was wearing red. Mm-hmm. Anytime you see her, she's either wearing her mom's dress or she's wearing a red dress. Mm-hmm. This is the first time
that she has worn her own colors.
Straight up worn that green, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And it wasn't a subtle green.
No.
Very bold.
No, it was a declaration of independence.
Right.
Not quite war, but it was a declaration.
It was basically y'all see what I'm wearing, so if ever the time comes.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh.
And I don't think it was, well, I guess everyone else was wearing their house colors. So she was wearing the same colors as the High Towers.
Yeah, but she's not a High Tower anymore. Technically, she's a Targaryen.
Yeah, but when she stepped through that door, that she was a High Tower with that green dress on. Definitely. Right.
And I'm looking at the way, like, I have it paused, and the way that Rhaenyra and Viserys are both looking at her, they're looking at her like, Daemon, his ass didn't even stand up. Somebody posted a meme about it today. He's the only one that didn't stand up. He's still sitting there. And then the way that she addresses Rhaenyra, she's kind of cold. But it's almost
She said
too like,
stepdaughter.
yeah, congratulations, stepdaughter. I'm very happy for you, or this is a happy occasion for you. But the way her voice was, is kind of like she was holding on to whatever strength she had so that she could be calm and collected, because she's very angry and she's very hurt by Rhaenyra's not telling her about what happened. But I was like, oh, okay. She's basically making her statement. She kisses her husband on the cheek and then she takes her stance. And Rhaenyra is looking like, the fuck? And Viserys is looking like, the fuck?
Yeah, because he definitely got thrown off.
Right.
And Damon's sitting there like,
like, this would be some shit.
This would be some shit right here. But again, he sees the opportunity, because as soon as he got Rhaenyra off by herself and he starts talking Valyrian, you know, he ain't talking no good shit. And she's like, and I do like that she stands up to him, because she's like, well then fuck it. You got a weapon on you. Take my ass to Dragonstone and make me your bride.
Right.
Like,
because
why are you doing all this right here? You
right in front of everybody.
And no action. And you speaking in High Valyrian.
Right.
And so she basically like she punked him.
She was like, I wasn't sure. I wasn't aware that what I wanted mattered.
Yeah. And you also told me that political marriages are political.
Right.
You know, you're the one that told me that. Then I guess we really didn't get to see it. They were escalating and we didn't get to see it resolved because someone else disturbed the party.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
The naughty kisses. Okay, so I got some things to say. Like, dude, it had already been discussed. You didn't need to say shit to nobody.
Especially not a fucking stranger.
And number one, you don't even know for a fact that it's him. You're guessing. You like, I think it's him. That's what you're telling. Why you won't call him Laris? And I know his name.
Laenor.
Is Laenor. You tell Laenor, yeah, it's him. Look at him. He look like he all pussy whipped.
Well, I mean, he wasn't wrong.
I'm sure it looks obvious. He wasn't wrong, but then you don't know for certain. And you go over there and you tell this dude straight up, who could lose his life. Who could lose his life? And you over there like, it ain't nothing. You're like, we both know each other's secrets. Dude, you know this dude from a hill of beans, and you learn real quick. You don't kick over an anthill.
Man, let me tell you, first of all, when he walked over there, I was like, is he really about to do what I think he's about to do? And he just sidles up to him and he's like, yeah, so you hooking up with the princess, huh? Well, you know what? This could be a mutually beneficial friendship right here, because I'm gonna keep him busy. You gonna keep her busy, and we good.
And you saying this
we both have something to protect.
You saying this in a room full of people, and then you bump him like, "What's up, dude?" I was amazed that Sir Criston waited as long as he did, because you know he already been on it. He still don't know, like, all the queen told him to do was leave. He still don't know how his situation is going to be resolved. He on edge. But we always talk about this. You don't know the person, don't fuck with them, because you don't know what they're capable of.
This is fuck around and find out part 2. Because when I tell you, he learned that night. Because while Rhaenyra and Daemon are having their little discussion and fighting, all of a sudden, like, this fight breaks out, and I completely missed. So I have it playing in the background. I'm waiting for it to get to that part because I completely missed when the fight popped off.
It's like all of a sudden there was like a commotion.
I thought Daemon did something, because the way that they were showing it, Daemon and Rhaenyra were arguing, going at each other. And Daemon grabs Rhaenyra's face and gets close enough like he's about to kiss her. All of this while Viserys is eating his soup. He's sitting here looking out over the crowd like, are they really about to do this shit right here? And then the crowd kind of thickens in that area. Mm-hmm. And you can't really see anything. So when he's looking for them again, they're gone. Or Daemon is gone at least. There appears to be a ruckus. Rhaenyra gets knocked down to the floor. You see Laenor get thrown on the table. I mean, people just start fighting.
It's a brawl.
And then in the midst of it, I see Sir Criston going after the Knight of Kisses. And I was like, oh, okay, he finna fuck around and find out. I was not expecting Sir Criston to make this man's face hamburger meat. That dude was missing an eye. When Sir Criston turned his face over, his whole eye was gone.
That is what Ramsay should look like, the way that John was slamming him upside the head.
Yeah, you're right.
But he didn't even look like that. So,
but you know what? I think that's because Sansa stopped John. When she walked up, John didn't want her seeing him like that. Then he was like, you know what? Honestly, this is yours to take care of. So however you want this done, we're going to get it done. So I kind of like the way that Sansa handled it. But
he murdered that and just I don't know. I don't even know if there's a word for it. But yeah, it was a commotion, and next thing you know, and it's like everybody kind of stopped just watching. The coolest thing though was Lionel looked at Harwin and was like,
right.
He's like, you know
I need you to go.
Like, and then he goes and he like punches 3 people like Superman. They just go out the way.
Right.
Sir Harwin the Strong, that's a motherfucker right there.
Picked her up on his shoulder and took her back to the table.
Like, where's Rhaenyra? He goes, we got this, right?
Right.
I guess I got it.
But let's talk about something else interesting that happened during this whole dance thing. So I guess Lady Laenor said, or Lady, why can I not think of her name now?
Lena? Is it Lena?
Lena. Lady Laenor. I guess she was like, okay, if I couldn't marry the king, I'm gonna shoot my shot with the brother. I was like, oh, this is an interesting development. That was one of the things that made me say, okay, let me go look and see what's going on. Because I remembered, I think it was a conversation I had with you where you were saying that Daemon got married before he was married to Rhaenyra. And right. So I was like,
spoilers.
Is it her? I was like, is it her? So I had to go and look up some stuff, and I'm sitting here reading through the stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, this is how this goes. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Because I was like, oh, we got a Cersei in this mess. Oh, okay. But yeah, you probably got that reference. But yeah, I looked at a couple of characters and I was just like, oh, this is how this is about to go. I was like, well, damn, if they're talking about doing a second season, and I really don't think, I mean, I don't know. I guess they could go for more seasons, but
I think it's supposed to be like a 5-season plan.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Oh, so they finna drag this shit out and make it really bloody. Because when I tell you the stuff that I read, I was like, this is about to be a bloody mess.
Yeah,
like literally a bloody mess.
I think I heard at Dragon Con someone said it's supposed to be like a 5-season plan. Like it's a 5-season arc.
Wow.
They're gonna drag this out. They're gonna drag it out. But yeah, I'm just he whipped. Okay, well, let's go back. You were talking about Daemon and Lady Lena.
Mm-hmm.
Daemon was like, he didn't seem to be opposed to the idea.
He didn't.
He was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what you talking about?
Sitting there flirting too. Yeah.
Yeah, what you talking about? Because he'll be the Lord of the Vale and Lord of Driftmark. He's like, sure. He'll take that.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
He'll be Lord of Rune. Yeah. He can hold 2 titles.
Yeah, he can. Oh my goodness. So the other thing that was kind of funny, they just showed it. King Viserys struggling to eat his food. I was like, y'all don't have like a royal food cutter? Cause he was obviously struggling with his little two fingers on his one hand and leprosy or whatever the hell it is he's got going on. He's sitting there and
struggling.
Lord Velaryon looking at him like this, the wife looking at him like this. I was like, y'all just being so disrespectful to this man. All he trying to do is throw a great wedding for his daughter.
But see, I thought the kitchen for this, because his food should have come out already like cut for him and prepared for him.
But you know what? He might be one of those people that doesn't want his weakness on display.
No, I'm saying even if I were king,
right,
my steak is going to be cut for me.
No, but that's what I'm saying, because
well, he doesn't
for some people, it'll be like, oh, why do y'all have to cut my food for me? Nobody else's food got cut. So what, y'all trying to say I can't cut my own meat?
I would just have everybody's meat cut.
I mean, yeah, that would do too. But I'm sitting here looking at the Night of Kisses.
Was left
Sir
of him?
Criston's face. No, this is before. This is why he's telling him all this stuff. And the way Sir Criston, like, he walked so close to him. Sir Criston grabbed his sword, was holding it up, and he was just looking like, this some fuck shit.
He was weighing his options.
I think he really was.
He was weighing his
options. I think at some point he was trying not to let it get to him. Mm-hmm. But I think this man was kind of like, I done confessed my love to this woman and she turned me down. I done confessed to the queen
who could take
and
my
I
head.
Still don't know what's going to happen to me. And now this random stranger just walks up and is so bold to come to me and be like, hey, yeah, so our fuck buddies are going to be married to each other. We got to take care of them so we can take care of ourselves.
Right.
Dude, you don't know me.
No.
You don't know me. Like you said, that's something that could cost his life. I'm like,
You won't be kissing nobody.
Damon said, Laenor is a fine man and a good knight. He will bore you.
Damon has no chill.
None.
There's no chill. I bet Matt Smith is having a blast with this role.
He probably is. She was like, so I hear the marriage is only a political arrangement. He was like, well, mine has been dissolved. She was like, okay, I ain't married yet. So if you want this, why don't you take this? I'm sure you got a weapon. Come on, go for it.
That was when the fracas broke out.
And that's why I'm sitting here looking, because she is challenging him and he's looking at her like, I can't believe you challenging me. And then he grabs her face and Viserys and the queen both are looking at them like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden you hear, hey, and you just see like heads. And then I'm just saying, yeah, you can't really tell what the start of the whole fracas is. Mm-mm. You really can't tell. And then the king is like, what in the seven hells is going on? And it's a mess. It's a mess. You see people fighting. You see Rhaenyra get pushed down. She's scared. She's calling for Laenor. He's trying to get to her because they don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden you see Sir Criston hitting somebody. Laenor pushes him. Sir Criston hits him. And then he goes back to the, Night of Kisses. And I was just like, now, here's the other thing too. Lady Laenor, she was coming for her brother like she was about to be like, oh, y'all touching my brother? Hold up. She looked like she was about to throw down. But anyway.
No, I swear I did see some people when the ruckus broke out. They just kind of got up and started walking out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The maester and yep. And yeah, Sir Harwin, he's like taking care of a few people. He done pushed some folks out the way.
Yeah, you saw Lionel just kind of look at him like,
Mm-hmm. And people are just sitting there watching Sir Criston, and I'm like, look at all of this blood. And then speaking of blood, the king has blood coming out of his nose. And I'm just seeing him look, oh my God, yeah, his face was horrible.
Yeah, but the funny, well, the crazy thing is how Criston like moved his head around. Like, you looking to see if you can hit him some more?
I think in a way, whatever rage he was in, I think it kind of passed at that point. And he was looking at his face like, wait, did I just do this? Because I'm looking at this dude's face. His eye is gone. Part of his nose is gone. His like there is a crevice in his face.
A hole.
His face. I was like, is this dude wearing like a ring or something? But no, the cuff of his armor comes right there. So probably as he was punching him, I was like, yeah, that dude dead.
Yeah, poor Laenor. Your boy is gone.
Man, and that scream he let out once he realized it, once he was able to crawl over to him. Because yeah, Sir Criston punched him pretty good too. Punched him in the face. And the crazy thing is the guards are more worried about pushing other people out. Sir Criston is just allowed, he just walks out the room.
Well, they don't know like what
started it.
He is King's guard, and and if anybody was paying attention, they saw Daemon make an aggressive move towards, and he's her protector. No one knows really. It doesn't seem like anybody really knows what happened.
Right. And where did Daemon go? Daemon just took the fuck off.
He got the hell up out of there. He didn't want no part of it.
He was like, "Yep, this ain't my fight." Deuces.
Deuces. He's gone.
But then after that, you get the scene where they're still in the hall, and it's just who it is: the Velaryons, the parents, it's the king and the queen, it's Rhaenyra, and it's Laenor and the Septon.
Yeah, they went ahead and got that marriage done.
Because I guess the king was like, "Oh, that's enough. That's enough for celebrations. We ain't doing this no more. Let's get this shit over and done with, and all y'all motherfuckers can go home."
Now, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of this shit happened at the tournament.
In the book?
Yeah, a lot of this stuff happened at the tournament.
And ain't gonna be no tourney for this one.
Yeah, they just turned it into a brawl at the engagement party.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a scene where Criston unhorsed the Night of Kisses.
Yeah, I think I did read something about that. Matter of fact,
like took his face off with that.
And you know what? I don't want to get too much into it because that might come into spoiler territory. So what I will say is at the end of this season, we'll talk a little bit about the books. But I do know that there is a contingent where, again, Alicent clearly made her stance known with the green. And I know that there are two contingents in the books called the Greens and the Blacks. The Greens they support Queen Alicent and Aegon, and the Blacks support Rhaenyra. And I think that during the tournament, Sir Criston basically unhorsed everybody that was in the Greens. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think that was too much of a spoiler since they were obviously not going to use that because they did it in the they did it in the party. So
yeah. So while they're sitting there doing the shotgun wedding, which again, it's like immediately after all of this, Sir Criston is actually out in the yard where the weirwood tree is. And he's taking off his white cloak. He's taking off his armor. He pulls his sword out. And they're interspersing both of these scenes together. So you have Laenor, who is trying to say his vows, can't even get the words out because literally he's still standing in the hall where his lover was killed. Like the blood is still on the floor.
The pool of blood is still there.
And the damn rat that came up and started drinking the blood. I was like, y'all dead ass wrong for that. But anyway, pool of blood is still on the floor. He's still bleeding. He's sitting there saying his vows, wiping his face. And poor Rhaenyra, I know that's not the kind of wedding that she thought she was going to have. And she's even trying to comfort him. Like, she reaches up and she kisses him on the cheek, just trying to make him. I know there's not anything you can do to make somebody feel better in that moment, but I mean, damn, y'all couldn't even give them time to just kind of whatever. Or maybe it was that they were like, okay, before Laenor changes his mind, let's go ahead and do this.
Yeah, they're like, he was gonna not be worth shit for the next few days, so they had to get it over with. Right.
So they get married in their shotgun wedding. Sir Criston is out in the courtyard because, of course, you just committed murder. You literally have sullied your white cloak with blood this time. You know, the Knight of Kisses had said something to Laenor earlier. He was like, "Yeah, I think her Kingsguard has her blood stains," or he, said something derogatory about the fact that he probably took her maidenhead or whatever. But I'm like, you literally have blood on your cloak now. And he sits there, he grabs a dagger, and he's about to stab himself in the stomach and commit suicide. And the queen comes out and stops him. Sir Criston. And that was it. And I was like, oh, he about to switch sides.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's going to become.
You talk about hell hath no fury like a woman scored. God damn, the man.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I'm telling you, I looked at the reactions to this episode. Some people were like, what in the holy fucking Game of Thrones did I just watch? I'm like, I have said this on all the message boards I'm a part of this week. I was like, y'all know weddings in Westeros do not have a good track record at all. Why did you expect this one to go off without a hitch? I mean, at least yeah. Right. I mean, this one didn't even make it to the vows before the bloodshed. At least, with the red wedding, Catelyn's brother was married. They had just carried him off to the honeymoon suite, which ended up being a prison cell. And at least for Joffrey, they did at least get a wedding out of it, But I'm just like, poor Rhaenyra, this is not what she wanted. I mean, she already didn't want to get married. Then she agreed to the marriage, and then just a melee. And then I don't even think at this point they understood what happened. She probably will never find out.
I don't think anyone really has a clue as to why everything popped off. They can make guesses, but no one really knows.
Right. And then in the midst of this marriage or this wedding, the king passes out. So I was sitting here thinking, I was like, you mean to tell me that somebody got killed and her daddy died? Because I'm thinking he's dead at this point. I was like, you mean to tell me somebody got killed and her daddy died at her wedding? Some might tell you that this is not the wedding that needs to continue on. Like, y'all need to just stop before. But no, looking at the promos for the next episode, which takes place 10 years later. So this is the last time that we will see young Alicent and young Rhaenyra. But it's 10 years down the road and he's still alive and kicking. I was like, oh, okay, I guess Viserys ain't as weak as people think he is.
Yeah.
He's still there 10 years later. Or maybe, and see, I heard the thing about him being poisoned. I don't think he was being poisoned at this point. I think maybe the poisoning came later down the line. But again, I haven't read it, so I don't know.
Well, I think the type of leprosy, the very specific type of leprosy he has, was what was given to him.
Oh, gotcha.
That was the quote unquote poisoning. Because apparently, like I said, the rumors are that that's what Oberyn was famous for using, poisoning his daggers with.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Like he would go around collecting venom from snakes, and then he would manipulate the venom. So it's possible that I'm not saying the Martell did it, but it's possible that they had a type of leprosy that could be specific to one person and maybe not
Okay.
as contagious,
Okay.
but and give him a slow death, but one that would ensure that by the time he died, Aegon would be old enough.
Old enough to claim the throne.
Right.
Okay.
Because it makes no sense to kill him when Aegon is like 2 months old,
Right.
or 3 months old, or even 2 years old, or 3 years old. That's not going to do anybody any good.
Right. Well, I tell you, this episode, I was sitting here watching it like, yes, we are definitely back in Game of Thrones territory. God damn.
Like that text I sent you. Damn.
I was like, okay, Florida Evans, come on now. But oh my goodness.
So this was probably my favorite episode so far.
But you say that after every episode, which is good, because that means that the episodes get better and better, and that's what they're supposed to do.
This had the right combination of political machinations
and intrigue
and action. It had just enough in it.
Enough conversation to where you weren't bored. Like the conversations were kind of like they spurred on the plot. It's like, oh, you got some tea over here, and oh, you threatening this person over here. Oh, okay, you just basically putting it out there like, okay, yeah, I'll be, you could be my gay BFF. We just be married, and you can go do like we cool. I was like, oh, okay.
But like the opening scene and the closing scene are both heads being bashed in. It's like, yeah, this is Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it is. It is. The other thing, the conversation between Lord Corlys and Lady Rhaenys, or Princess Rhaenys, where he was talking about having overstepped. And, he was like, I just want to make sure, he was like, our children, they can sit on the Iron Throne and they should, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, it was robbed from me. She's like, dude, I'm over and done with that. Like, let it go. Let it go.
He's still holding on to it. What the kids call it? He's still capping. Is that what they call it?
I don't know. I'm not even, I'm at that age where I'm not trying to speak like the young kids now. I've turned into our parents. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try it.
Yeah, he's still capping for her, and she's like, I'm done with that.
She was like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Because she realizes it's a dangerous game. She was like, we are putting our son in danger because
we're putting all of our kids in danger.
Yeah, but him especially, because she's like, Lord Corlys is walking around like every parent who has had a gay child and is like, oh, maybe this person will be the one to change them. And she was like, dude, that ain't the way he's looking. Like, what his tastes are. He was like, oh, well, maybe, she has become more comely in the best. She was like, no.
Well, maybe he'll grow out of it. No.
And she's just looking at him like, really? Come on. She was like, no, we're putting him in danger.
Because she said that her claim will be challenged.
And knives will come out.
It would have been better for her had Viserys went ahead and died while Aegon is young.
Yeah.
It probably would have been better for her. Because once he gets older and becomes a dragon rider, then that's going to be problems. That's going to be problems.
Yep, I think
as
so.
As we see in the promo, it's going to be problems.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting now. I just want to see. So, like I said, I read last night in a wiki of Ice and Fire. I think that's what it's called. Because I was like, okay, I need to know what's going on with this character and this character, because especially because we didn't see Lady Royce, but for so long in the episode, I was like, okay. So I started looking up her information. And then, of course, it has her tied to Daemon. So I was like, okay, you know what? I already know part of the story. Let me go in and see what else goes on. So I'm reading through Daemon stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, damn. Oh. And I was like, all right, let me go to Rhaenyra. And I started looking at her stuff, and I was just like, this is about to get way more interesting than I expected to be. Because so we know Targaryens have had issues with people before. We know about the Dance of Dragons. We've heard references to it in Game of Thrones. We know that it was a bloody battle between Targaryens. I did not realize the magnitude of the word.
Someone on on one of our previous podcasts, I don't know if it was you or Michelle or Lori, but someone was like, they have so many dragons. Like, where did all the dragons go in 170 years? They were all dead.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they all went.
Yeah.
Most of them are dead.
I was reading that too, and I was
most of them were killed. So,
like, oh, this is really about, okay, huh? All right. I was sitting there reading it. Look, it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm supposed to be asleep. I got my glasses on in the bed and looking at my phone like this. Like,
the Song of Ice Fire Wiki is going through what?
And I was like, oh, I don't need to read anymore, but let me check out this one little detail. I sat here and read that thing for like 30 minutes, and I was like, no, let me put it down. I said, because I'm going to be too spoiled, because then I'm going to be aching, like, oh, when are y'all showing this? They might not show some of this until season 2.
I'm going to tell you what your friend had me do. The person I live with, whom I'm related to by marriage.
Who is sitting on a beach right now.
Let's not talk about that. Well, actually, now she's probably in the Alchemy bar having some drinks, because it's only 8:30 right now.
Michelle left us and went on a cruise.
Left all of us.
Left all of us.
Her husband, her child, all of us.
Her podcasting people. She left us all. She was on a beach in Mexico today, and I'm jealous. I'm hella jealous. So
I told Hanako I was going to send her pictures. Hanako's, I don't want to see him.
I don't want to see him. I don't need to see him.
So we were going through YouTube, and someone had posted a video of, let's see how Daenerys is related to Rhaenyra. So she followed the line from Rhaenyra to Daenerys. And of course, the family tree has spoilers. Anytime you look at a family tree, it's going to give you spoilers.
Yep.
And so we're sitting there, it's like a 15-20 minute video, and we're watching, okay, well, that makes sense. Okay. And you're like, oh, yeah. So,
yeah. That's how it was. I was like, oh.
And that's just going through the family tree. This ain't even talking about all the other stuff.
All the other stuff. That's just the family tree. I was looking at some of this stuff like, God damn. Who? Okay. Talk about some sibling rivalry and talk about some dysfunctional family stuff. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a mess. We only have 5 more episodes in this season. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do as far as how they're going to end this season, and then what we're going to pick up in the second season. Because I'm like, there's so much. Like, for this to have been just a chapter in a book that was just about genealogy, they have filled in so many blanks in such a great way. And I'm just like, I just want all the tea now. I need to know how all this ends. I need to know how all these people play a part, because I know this episode wasn't the last time we're going to see of Otto Hightower. So I'm like, okay, how are they going to bring him back? What is the queen about to do? How is that relationship about to? Yeah, because I read some of the quotes from the book, and I was just like, oh, Alicent got real bitchy and snarky, but I forgot that in the books, they weren't best friends first. They actually started as stepdaughter and stepmother, and they had a good relationship until she bore him 2 sons, and he still didn't change his line of succession. And that's when I think Alicent started getting jealous of Rhaenyra, and that's when the divide really started happening. But I was like, this is going to be very interesting to watch. What was it? I saw another meme today, said, it's Sunday night, so I'm waiting to see in what ways I can support Daemon Targaryen tonight.
Team Daemon.
I mean, he doesn't have to do a lot. just his presence on the screen, the way he looks at people, the way he kind of sits there all slumped like, what's up? What y'all gonna do? He does not give a fuck what anybody thinks of him.
When I was on the panel for one of the panels about Game of Thrones, and someone had asked a question, a member of the audience asked a question saying, what makes a Game of Thrones story? Like what is like an inherent quality of a Game of Thrones story? The inherent quality to me of what I said was, it's like dominoes. There's one event that kicks off a series of events.
It just branches out.
And I want to have an addendum. I'm going to add an addendum to that. Daemon Targaryen is that person that thumps that first. He's the person that thumps that first domino. That is his purpose. Like everything he does is to kick something off. He is the worst of the people like Littlefinger and Otto Hightower. They set the dominoes up, hoping that they get knocked over. Daemon walks right up to it. Bloop.
Yep.
And don't even think about the consequences. I'm just gonna bloop, see what happens.
Now I think Littlefinger is a very close second because I think he also controls things in a way he has this gift of foresight into seeing how things will play out. Okay, so if I do this here, it's going to trigger this over here, and then if I do this here, like he has that long range tunnel vision to where he can see every move that he's going to make for the next 5, 6, 7 moves and how it's going to affect things. So
I don't know. I always had the opposite view of Littlefinger.
Really?
I always saw Littlefinger as he's like the CIA. I'm going to destabilize this people over here. I'm going to destabilize over here. I'm going to destabilize over here. And I'm just kind of sit back and see how it all starts to shape out. But I'm going to put myself in the best position to benefit, which is his famous line, chaos is a ladder.
Right.
And that's what he does. Varys was the one who was trying to always control. The book and the TV Varys were very different.
Okay.
Well, not very different, but they were different enough. The book Varys was into setting things up, more or less. He was the opposite of chaos is a ladder. He was about control situations.
Right.
He wanted to control. He knew what outcome he wanted, and he would push things into that direction of the outcome. Littlefinger was not outcome oriented. The only outcome he had was, I'm going to be on top. I don't really care how I get there, but I know that I'm going to be in the best position when the dust settles.
Yeah.
Which is what he was trying to do. So I said all that to say is that Daemon is very much sort of like that, except he's not putting himself in the best position. He's just knocking the dominoes over and just kind of see how everything just kind of plays out.
Right.
You know, I'm going to either be on the top or the bottom, but hey, this is going to be a fun show to watch.
Right.
That to me feels like a Daemon thing.
Okay.
You know, he saw someone set up the dominoes. He's gonna go knock him over.
Right.
You know, that's him.
I mean, if it works.
Because at the end of the day, he's probably like, yeah, I'm gonna be king somehow.
Right.
If not, I'm gonna be close.
And I'm gonna get what I want.
And he's gonna be closer and closer.
Yeah. Oh goodness. This episode, and I don't want to use the word fun because it wasn't a fun episode in that sense.
It was very entertaining.
It was. That's the word. It was very entertaining. And like I said, I'll just watch Daemon Targaryen just do whatever. He don't even have to say nothing. I just want to see what he's gonna do. Because like, even without opening his mouth, he irritates the fuck out of people.
He
and they react to that.
Like 4 lines, like 3 or 4 lines in High Valerian at the end of the episode.
Yeah, because he didn't speak other than that. He didn't utter a word, didn't say a word to his brother, didn't say a word. I mean, just, I think
Oh,
the
he
only
said a
thing,
few words to Gerald Royce. He said a few words to him, but that was
yes, to Gerald Royce, and then to Sir Harwin when he was like, yeah, can I cut in on this dance? And Sir Harwin was like, yeah, I'm gone. He was like, yep, not gonna touch this, until his dad was like, yo, go get her. Because she could have gotten stomped. Nobody was really paying attention, and nobody knew exactly what was going on, until the crowd kind of cleared and you saw Criston beating in old dude's face. That face was horrible.
Oh my God.
Horrible.
Terrible.
Mm.
Hell, it was worse than the dogs munching on Ramsay's face.
Yeah, because we didn't see that.
We heard it.
We heard it, but we didn't see it. I'm trying to think, did we see anything that gross? Oberyn was.
I was gonna say, the mountain smashing Oberyn.
Oberyn was,
it was pretty graphic.
Yes, it was, and you heard that one too.
And you saw it too. That was,
I'm still mad about that. Like, all you had to do was shut your damn mouth, Oberyn. Just shut your damn mouth. You had it in the bag.
Even the pies that Arya made were still not as bad.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Any final thoughts about episode 5?
I think we done said all there is to say. I guess the title of this episode will be Big Dick Energy.
Man.
Daemon Targaryen.
I mean, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Anytime Daemon gets on the screen, there's BDE. There you go. I mean, like I said, he doesn't have to utter a word. Not one single word. And he gets the job done. So, okay. All right. Well, that's it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fandom Hybrid. We have a Discord channel. You can watch us on YouTube, and we are on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.